Welcome to the post show for episode number 42 of Limit Break Radio and episode number 6 of Final Encounter Cast. This was a big episode in terms
both of them.
Yeah, both of them were huge
Giant.
episodes. So let's start off with Limit Break Radio. I sort of feel like the episodes that I'm nervous about going into seem to be the ones that go the smoothest and the best for us.
That's why we make you nervous all the time.
Why are you even nervous anymore?
Because it does. Because the game is okay. When we were doing the show for FF11, we got stuck in this trap of doing a show about a game that was not receiving updates, and so when content starts to kind of fall off like this, I get really, really nervous because it's like, what are we going to talk about? And, we can't keep opening the mic every single week and go, well, there's nothing to do, because at some point, people go, well, then why the fuck are you doing this show? And so...
But, even though we do open it up saying, oh, there's no news, we still come out with a fucking really awesome topic.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
We've done it countless times, so, when do you think you will stop being nervous about it?
I think the minute you stop being nervous about it is the minute your show starts sucking. That's the minute. Yeah, that's the minute you start getting comfortable and saying, "Yeah, we got this. It's fine. We don't need to put in the work."
No, because obviously we still put in the work.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That we can't mistake the fact that the last couple of times that we haven't had a good topic given to us by the game that we've been able to pull it out. Like we can't say, "Oh, well, that's just going to happen without us trying." Like,
well, no, I'm not saying don't try.
Yeah.
But I also don't think you need to be nervous about it. I don't necessarily think that stopping, not being nervous about it means that you get complacent. There's a lot of people that I meet that, when they find out that I'm an actor, they talk about some nervous problems and they're like, oh, I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. And I'm like, no. Getting up in front of people, I've never been nervous about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think that we kick ass and we're awesome and we'll always be awesome.
If
we can just trim some of the fat, it might help a little bit.
I sort of feel like you raise your hand, really?
I know where that was going.
I thought that fat was pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, it was a fat joke, huh? It was both now, so I insulted both of them?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know, man. It's it makes me nervous when there is a lack of stuff to talk about. You can only make stuff up so much, but we have such great callers and emailers too.
I think maybe we're on different tunes here, because sometimes when we finish a show, I get a little bit nervous about, okay, what are we going to do next? I know that we have the PvP thing in the bag, right? But let's say that we knew for fact that the next, 5 episodes, Square Enix was giving us nothing. All right.
Like that 7-week wait?
Yeah, okay. All right.
That made me so nervous.
We have one thing in the bank. And so when I think about the other ones, I'm like, oh shit. But once we actually come up with something, I know that we're gonna make it work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When we find something with weight on Tuesday or Wednesday, that's when I'm done.
It's the blank sheet that makes you nervous.
I guess, well, yeah, I guess maybe you guys have never experienced this, but I've been behind a microphone with nothing to say. I've been in the seat, hey, let's find something to talk about. Oh, nothing's right. I've not prepared for a show to the point where I think, I could just wing it. We'll just open them up. We'll just wing it. We'll be fine. We can just make it up as we go.
Listen, the roast was tough for all of us.
No, back in the refresh days, I got stuck with this, and it is a very awkward feeling when you're like, I've got nothing to go to. We've been talking for 45 minutes, we're at the end of our outline, we've got nothing else to go on, now what? People are expecting another 2 hours, what do we do? I've been there, I've been in that situation. That's a tough situation to be in.
Did you refresh by yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And it's not like...
Refresh was 3 hours long?
Sometimes. It was more like 2, something like that. I don't remember, it's been a long time since.
Oh god.
I have a tendency when I sit down and do a show that it times out to about 3 hours naturally.
We've noticed.
Yeah, I thought you guys might pick up on that.
For a while here, LBR was only going 2.5 hours, but you got us to that 3-hour mark.
I know, right? And sometimes even pushing farther to the final encounter cast point where we get to 3.5 hours. So
6.5 hours of show today.
Yes. If you would have stopped pausing on Shaq's fucking face and Mark Hamill's drunkenness so many times.
But they were hilarious.
Mark Hamill, not so much.
Mark Hamill was hammered. He was so drunk.
And you know what? From what I've seen him in recently, I'm pretty sure he's just always drunk.
That very well may be true. I'm not saying that it was a bad. This was not.
to be able to do Joker.
This was not a moral. Like I wasn't like making a moral judgment on
Shame
him.
on you.
No, good for him. Good for him.
You got paid to be drunk. Good job.
You know he
Yeah.
fucked bitches after that too.
Oh, totally. I mean, Mark Hamill, definitely.
I'm the Alec Guinness of 2016, baby.
Let's see. So,
Callers, can we talk
callers
about our
are
callers,
great.
please?
Limit Break Radio's callers were fantastic
Oh,
today.
You mean limit breaking music, right?
Yeah.
That-
What
that was
an
fucking-
impromptu limit breaking music.
Like
What the
that,
fuck?
I feel like that doesn't happen. You know,
On
even,
anyone's show.
even,
It
even
doesn't-
when
yeah.
you go out and watch like karaoke, right? You get maybe one person who can actually sing up there. you
Yeah.
know? And we got people who did like impromptu parody. It's fucking hard to write a parody. Okay, I've tried to do it many a times, and the fact that Malkyria, like
Did it in like
10,
15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Yeah. And
I
Lila-
hope
Lila
she's a
did
fucking
great one,
Patreon
too.
because holy fuck,
Yeah,
that,
she
that
is.
was amazing.
She is. Malkyria definitely
Yeah,
is.
and both of them had
Hi,
great
Malkyria.
voices too.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done, guys. Seriously.
Juxta pretty good with the drops today.
Yeah, you had a bunch of new drops to play with. How'd you like your new drops? You were
Well,
using a lot of them.
I missed on 2 drops I really wanted to do on LBR, but live and learn.
Um,
But, yeah.
your setup drops were very, very, very good, but I also feel like when you set yourself up, not obviously it's still good, it's still fun, but I feel like when you find a way to naturally off of other people slip them in there, it's more impressive.
Well, yeah, that's what I said before. Like that one time when I first set up the very first drop when I kind of set myself up for it.
Mhm.
You guys were like, "Oh yeah, you should do that more often." I'm like, I feel like it kind of cheapens it, but
It
Yeah.
worked.
okay.
But the one
It
you
does
did that
help.
time,
It is funny.
Yeah.
The one you did specifically that time was we got Square Enix on the line.
Oh yeah, because we didn't see that
Yeah.
we didn't see that one coming.
That was out of left field. Now when
Yeah.
you start something like that, we kind of know what drop's
Yeah,
coming.
sometimes the
Yeah.
way that you set it up, we kind of know it's coming, but that Square Enix one,
That was gold.
That was brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah, especially because you totally caught an ear off with that.
Yes. Yeah. Drop game was on point for sure. How did we do on callers? Did we have a lot of people in the phone bank that wanted to call in this week?
On LBR, only 3 people didn't call in or
Okay.
didn't
a
get
chance.
on.
Yeah.
So
And
6
one of them
callers
was
total.
new, and I told them to try again next week, and I'll put you at the top of the list.
Okay.
And the other one was Satori, who called in during Final Encountercast, and Ryuichi.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Great callers this week, guys. Seriously, not a ton of emails. The emails that we get just seem to get longer.
I know.
Wherever
And they're
you
just
go.
ramble,
Yeah.
they're not. It doesn't even seem like I feel like if these people were to write and then read back through them, be like, all right, you know what, I can cut this out. And just be a little bit more
Or just
concise.
call the fucking show.
That
Like
too.
all of these stories that people email in, just call the show, dude. Like you can tell that story on the air, and probably we can get it out of you a little bit quicker too.
Yeah.
So, we appreciate the emails. We
Yes.
definitely
Yeah.
do. We read all of them. And even if we don't get a chance to read all of them on the show, we do so appreciate your guys' continued interaction with the show. The numbers looked really good today. We were at like 290-ish.
Yeah,
Had some
peaking
great,
close to
had
200.
some great hosts from Happy in there, and a lot of people from the Hap Army following, and a couple of
Good,
other
good.
hosts in there as well.
Nice. Sweet.
It's nice to see our viewer numbers aren't suffering while the game seems to be.
And they never do.
Well, they vary. They kind of
at the
bounce
very,
around.
very end, just before patch 3.1, they kind of did a little bit, but for the most part, no, they stay pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people last week in the chat. The one person that comes to mind, that FFVV guy in the chat last week when we were giving Nico all the shit, like he was just like, oh, yeah, well, no one's listening to your podcast because you guys are fucking assholes. It have nothing to do with the game population. Well, that's just objectively not true. That guy not around this week, so.
I've seen him in the stream though, so it's not like he's
Yeah, I
left.
know he hangs out every once in a while. I don't know why. I don't know. We talked about the white knighting of Nika a little bit. That shit is a bit ridiculous.
Nobody. The white knighting of Kallo commence.
Nobody needs to act in defense of any host on this show. I mean, I
Nobody
thought
came to my aid.
we made that pretty clear. Yeah, nobody.
They all wanted to hug me.
Some of them did.
Some of them showed support for you, but not like Nika.
Not like Nika, no.
Oh, no, nobody
nothing like that.
Nobody, but no Blivens came in and said, "I'm taking."
Nobody's
my
dropping their
money."
Patreon in my
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just
How I
admit
felt
it. You
last
wanted a
week.
reason to drop Patreon, and this was a convenient excuse.
You know, if you guys, if you want to drop Patreon, just do it and not tell anybody. And no one will really know. I mean, we know because we can tell,
Yeah, we get an email about it.
but no one else will know. So don't say anything.
Yeah.
Well, technically, he didn't put his name on it, so no one should have known. But Nero
But Aniero called him out.
But he's been in the chat room giving
Dude,
us
he has
shit.
been so vocal.
He's been so vocal about that shit. I'm sorry, he's the only one that took the joke wrong, I think.
And like,
Even Nika took it way better than you did, bro. God.
that's kind of sad. But and like he's actually been active in the chat prior to this,
And
like,
after this too.
and after this.
Yeah.
he was here to this week.
No, I didn't see him in the chat this week, but
Yeah.
I mean, like on a couple of my streams, he's come in and been like, "Hey, screw you and Nero, that was mean what you did."
Oh,
and I was like, "Well, why
jeez.
the fuck are you here then, bro?"
he wants the roadie.
The Rodeo.
No, the
No,
Fem
the
roadie.
road D.
Oh.
I get it. Road D.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So yeah, okay, let's talk highlights from this week's show.
Oh darn it!
The calls.
I'm always the guy that reminds everyone about highlights.
I think either one of the calls, both of them.
You gotta have both
Both
of them.
songs,
Both
yeah.
songs.
Should we have them in one clip? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think we can fit both of them in one clip.
Yeah.
so that scrum that we got in the middle of the show about what was that about?
I don't even fucking know. It was.
What?
That was
What
like
did we argue
6
about?
hours
What
ago.
did we argue about? We argued about something.
Aniero and Nika.
You guys were.
You and me, you were in there too.
It was about
He was right, it was a
Nerf
long time
batting.
ago.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh
Stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. The whole idea that, oh no, you can't do that because it will make people be jerks.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I lived through that in FF11, and that's not fun. I like that everything's fair.
Yeah.
The elitist Care Bear.
Right.
Yes, yes, that's a good one, I
That's
think.
a good title for it too.
The elitist Care Bear. Yeah.
I'm just glad I was able to use that drop.
What?
I don't know what we're yelling about.
That was a good use.
That seems like that was one that could be used pretty regularly on our show.
Definitely.
Well,
I think
no.
there because we were actually talking about like patch notes or something, and it
I
somehow
don't know how we got into it.
Yeah.
and
It
everyone was
really
like,
spiraled
it
out
just
of control.
devolved into that and
everyone
went
was
out of
arguing
nowhere.
for like
And
their
you
own
actually-
point, but no one was arguing about the same thing.
This is true, and you
And it's
actually
like-
and you actually found a spot where everybody went quiet for a moment and nobody was yelling over your drop. It was perfect time.
Yeah.
It's true. That got to the point where everyone was arguing their own point. But
I
they
feel
didn't
like that.
involve each
I
other.
feel like that's what the clip has to end on. What are we arguing about? End clip.
Gosh, guys, dumb dicks.
Says the two people that were arguing about the fighting game, and then when we actually gave them
No,
mic,
okay, you know
when we
what?
actually gave them mic space, their arguments was
No,
it's
okay.
terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that
Wow.
was your fault.
Wow.
'Cause
Okay,
I
so
knew,
wait, hang on.
No, hold on. I knew I had like nothing to back that up because I wasn't prepared. So that's why I was just like throwing like pot shots in the
Just
chat.
throwing Nika in the trap.
But when you
And
like
you-
bring it to the front, I'm like,
And
I don't
you-
got nothing.
And you don't think that I knew that?
well, you know, it's,
dumb dick.
Did you not? Were you asleep during the Mario karaoke? Half of the show is making you look like a retard.
Well,
He's not wrong. He's just a dick.
So yeah, this moves us into the final encounter cast portion. Was there anything else that we wanted to talk about for LBR?
I
think
don't
we did.
think so.
Yeah.
did we get through the whole outline in LBR?
Just
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, because we
Just
we
emails
got down
left.
to the emails. We actually read some emails.
Yeah. FEC we had to fast forward.
Yeah. I guess that's it.
Okay, alright, so let's talk about Final Encounter Cast, episode number 6. This is a big monumental episode for us because we got to have callers on the show. A couple of callers, 3 callers.
Three callers.
2 about Never, or Undertale.
Yes,
Undertale.
which kind of shows that we kind of like need callers because then like we know like what everyone's actually interested in, because
Yeah,
we
it
weren't going
helps.
to talk about Undertale at all.
Probably not.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then we spent like a good, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes combined
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah.
And actually Mel wanted to talk more about it, but we cut her off. So.
Well,
It happens.
We got
Sorry, Mel.
The show went 3.5 hours.
right.
Yeah.
So another new thing that we tried today was our camera system. We bought some wide-angle cameras and mounted them in the studio. There's a bit of lag with them. The video lags behind the audio by a second or two. And it seemed, I don't know, like it seemed like it was a much more visually
Stimulating.
People
Yes.
are commenting on how they didn't really know that
They
we
didn't
were all in the
realize
same
that,
room.
yeah.
exactly.
How
And
it
they
was
said,
set up.
and
Exactly.
they basically, their comments did exactly what we thought it would do, and it gave them a better sense of our studio.
Yes, and the hope is that as people browse Twitch and look through the gaming talk shows and stuff like that, that they may see a preview in which it has the
The studio look,
yes,
and be like,
exactly.
oh, that's different.
It's different, exactly. It's not the same like webcams on faces that you see everywhere else on
Right.
Twitch. Not that there's a problem with that, but we just wanted to make sure that we kind of
Separate
stood
us,
out.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So
So how was it playing cameraman?
it was difficult. It was hard.
Yeah.
That was really hard.
From a Kallo perspective, or Robbie perspective, it didn't seem to affect your contribution. So,
Okay. There were a couple.
If that's
there were a
something
couple-
that you were maybe worried about,
I
that
was.
didn't translate.
Yeah,
so.
and I wanted to go back and listen to it afterwards as well. But there was this very real thing. Like there were a couple of times where the conversation died, or I lost track of it because I was concentrating on something else, and then it was like everyone kind of got quiet, and I was like, I need to say words now. And
I didn't notice
what I was
that,
saying.
so I don't think
There was-
I cover for that. It's a skill that you kind of develop in broadcasting, where you just go, yeah, well, I don't know. You just make noise.
Well, we can do that. We can just make noise.
But I think it would be a little bit more helpful if you guys were trying to, really be attentive to where I'm at in trying to pick it up if I let the slack drop.
The one time I noticed it, it was after like Kyle or Robbie made a joke, and I purposely stopped talking, and everyone else did, and I made the joke sound flat, so I was happy about that. That's why I did.
I think that joke was flat.
Yeah,
Joke
That joke was just flat.
yes,
That's it.
That's why I was happy about it.
That's that. There was just
I don't fucking know, it was bad.
yeah.
Like,
When someone tells a bad joke,
You just
there's a vacuum. Yeah. Yeah.
bad jokes are kind of what we do, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
our bad jokes are funny though. When you have a bad joke, it's just bad. Like there's bad jokes that are like, oh God. And there's bad jokes where it's like,
Like that one.
yeah, see, it's called comedic time.
Which you don't have.
Okay. So.
Drop Game says otherwise.
Congratulations, you had one good drop game.
Yep, and there it goes. Yep, only one.
We also it was different for
You used a lot of videos.
Final Encounter cast because we had a significant video element, which is not something that we've tried before. I think it dragged on a little bit too long.
I think certain times did, yeah.
There was
I'm not
certain-
sure what point you were trying to make with Reggie's thing. Reg, I don't think Reggie needed to go on that long.
I agree. I don't
Okay.
think Reggie didn't need to
Okay.
go on that long.
And
That was my point.
So
Reggie didn't need to go on
You
that
could have
long
just said
in the
that!
fucking presentation. He could have. I mean, like honestly, out of how long it lasted and what he said, what was the value of that presentation?
We could have let it go for like 45 seconds and said, this goes on for 3 more minutes.
I think
What
we
about
could have used
Sony
it.
guy
We
then?
could have used it as an opportunity to all get up and walk out of the studio
What
for
about
a minute,
Sony guy
refresh
then?
our drinks.
Sony guy before the sizzle reel. What was all couldn't we just start at the sizzle reel?
Sony guy was really bad.
To be fair,
He was better than Reggie.
Well, no, Reggie, I got a really good burn on him with the drums.
to be fair,
Circle jerk.
to be fair, again, this is the first time that we've used video. So I was
True.
queuing up video. I am not the greatest at queuing up video. I did have times written down for clips that I wanted to start, but the YouTube player is imperfect. Especially
This is true.
when you have the length of the file
Yeah.
is like 3 hours long,
Yeah, that's true.
because you just drag a little bit and it goes
You fuck
3
it all
minutes
up.
back,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and that was
Fair enough.
that was a challenge for me to
I
be like,
rescind
where
my
is it queued up?
criticism then, because that's legit. That's legit.
So it's something. I think it'll get better with time. It was a little bit loosey goosey today, but I think it will get better with time. I also lost track of time at one point. Like when we were going through the VGA stuff, I was like, man, I feel like we've been going through this for a really long time, but I didn't have a sense of how long we were going for.
Okay.
So I do feel like we did let the VGAs outweigh the PSX. I wanted to spend a little bit more equal time on both of them. But in the end, I think it ended up okay. I didn't want to shove all the FF7 stuff at the end, but I did.
And I also think going longer is okay when we're still delivering quality content. You know,
Yeah.
there were some times in early LBR when we were doing the 3-part episodes.
Yeah.
That you could tell when it got to the third segment with emails and stuff that it dragged on.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
but I think we were all still very very much invested, even going over time.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's talk about that epic flameout that you had.
Okay.
How you doing?
How you doing, Roberto?
You okay?
Come on. You need a tissue?
We're not performing anymore, so can we
You
just?
all right?
We're always performing.
Okay.
You got a hug?
I seriously, I will punch you.
Do you need
Another
a,
hug?
If you try to touch me, I'm going to legitimately punch you. Okay?
do you need a tampon?
This is my serious face. Okay? You have been warned, so don't be surprised if you try to touch me and I fucking hit you.
Do you need a maxi
For the
pad?
viewers. Okay? Obviously, people were expecting a reaction, right? So.
Kotex, Playtex, what's your brand?
So I
Thanks,
had.
babe.
I had planned something, right? And then Nika had to open her stupid mouth, and what was supposed to be a bit became very real. And I didn't want to storm out of the room because I had already done that, and that's what people were expecting to happen, and I did. And I'm
Are you proud of yourself?
no, I am disappointed in myself. And then when I came back in, I could still hear her fucking voice coming out of those headphones. And I like Nika. She's my friend, okay? And she has a nice voice, but God, I just wanted to choke her into shutting up. Nika, she doesn't watch these, but Nika, I don't know what it was, but her voice, I just wanted to smack her.
So
And you don't get it. Nobody does. Like even before we started the green room video, like Senpai sent me messages, and he's like, well, don't worry. If it's bad, like it's not a big deal. You can go play the old one. And if it's good, then cool. And I'm like, it's not about.
do you understand? I'm sorry. Hang on. I think I can sympathize, and I think I can put a finer point on this, because now do you realize the conversation surrounding Final Fantasy VII moving forward? Do you understand that when somebody sits down and talks to you about Final Fantasy VII, you're going to have to clarify with them, do you mean the original or do you mean the remake? Because there's probably going to be a significant quality difference between the two of them.
You know what I'm gonna do?
And then if they're coming from only the context of the remake, they've never even seen the original, why do you want to talk to that person?
If anybody ever asked me about FF7 after the remake, I just punched them in the face. That's how I'm gonna handle it. Mm-hmm. Or I'll do something like sitting down.
This is going to make for a really difficult
Sitting down.
show.
Let's say we're sitting down having coffee somewhere, right? And someone comes up, oh, you're the Final Encounter cast guys. Hey, Robbie, I really wanted to, pick your brain about FF7. Whoops, I've spilled my coffee. Excuse me, and just go home.
Do you realize that you have set yourself up permanently for only ever that to happen?
Yeah, you realize now
You-
you're
you're-
boom headshot guy.
Yeah.
You're a boom headshot guy. You're
Wait.
only gonna get talking about
Listen, Barbara, okay?
Final Fantasy VII.
Listen, Miss Streisand, okay?
Yeah,
This is what happens when you freak the fuck out about things. Because I'm sure that Nika didn't want to talk about the incident last week, the dream incident last week, but that's what half of our emails were about, because that's what half the people latched onto that heard that bit.
I think she was fine talking about it because we resolved it.
Oh, but you are not fine talking about Final Fantasy VII, and everyone now knows that that's your trigger button.
I can.
To be fair, only Patreons know.
No, I think everyone can see that.
I think that if someone comes into the stream when it's just me, and asks me about it, I could probably do it. But when I get into a situation where people just try and guys, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Like, why is it that big of a deal?
Yeah.
It's just a game.
Yeah. It is.
Well, I guess I kind of admire you because you're really passionate about something, and I'm not that passionate about
See, like,
anything.
honestly,
Card games?
No.
if
Well,
if you took Herman Melville's classic Moby Dick and gave it to Tom Clancy and said, hey, why don't you take a stab at rewriting the story, okay, we're going to put it out and it's going to be amazing. There are some people who would like the new technocratic Moby Dick, and it would be really cool to those people, but it would be fucking with a classic. It would be fucking with something that is burned into the culture.
okay, we could have airships, right? And then Moby Dick could be a white Metal Gear that's flying.
Or
Right?
Bismarck is Moby Dick.
No, it has to be metal.
Why is that being metal?
Because Metal Gear.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I'm onto
How did I
something.
not get that?
It's not gonna be good. It's not.
How do you? It's got Gundams in it.
He's not talking
Not
about
talking
your
about
fucking abortion of an idea. What? Okay.
This has gone off the rails. I don't know where we.
Where are we
Where,
at?
where are we at?
I don't know.
We're in a strange place.
We are.
Sector 7 slums.
I fucking hate you. Seriously, oh my god, I hate you guys so fucking much!
Indoor voices.
It's because you get so upset that we make fun of you for it. You realize that, right?
Okay, yeah. Now
I
we're
see.
at the point we can just like make an offhanded mention about literally anything in Final Fantasy VII, and now you're gonna freak out about it.
I don't know, like, I actually don't know what's going on with me because you guys used to do this all the time, and I got to a point where it didn't bother me because you guys are just being assholes again.
Maybe because now it's real. It's
After
not
today,
about.
it'll be no. I'm just still like
It's not about like
I'm
the
still
possibility
emotional
of a
right.
remake.
I'm still just emotional right now.
Now it's reality.
Shut up. Can we move on?
I think it's because he secretly has his own religion for the live stream, and this is deeply offensive to his religion.
So would he be a crusader?
Man, this is 3 hours more than I ever wanted to spend dealing with Final Fantasy VII.
If the Final Fantasy part was like 45 minutes, maybe
Yeah.
not even.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
like a half hour.
Yeah, we really. I mean, the nice part is that we did kind of stretch ourselves out beyond Final Fantasy. So
Yeah.
you know, one thing that I do.
Okay, hold on. My brother-in-law has a criticism of our early
Episodes.
our early Final Encounter casts,
Mm-hmm.
where we just talk about Final Fantasy all the time, according to him, and that's all we were talking about. So it's kind of good that we like.
We have a lot of. I was actually just going to mention this. We do have a lot of references to FF14, which we need to be better about stripping
Yeah.
out. But the other thing is that, and I don't know how to fix this problem, but the chat is upset. It cannot stop talking about FF14 even when we're doing Final Encounter cast. And when new people come to the show, that is a huge turnoff because they're like, why are they talking about this unrelated game?
Right.
That needs to stop. I don't know how we encourage our audience to stop talking about FF14.
Don't know if we can.
I don't think we can.
Yeah.
But there's got to be. I mean,
You know what? I think that as we grow Final Encounter cast and as we gain more listeners, it'll correct itself.
Yes, because there are already some people that in the chat, when we come over to Final Encounter Cast, call us by our real names instead of our game names. There are some people who don't, and I think that it's something that people just have to catch on. Like our caller, for example, when he first called in, he said Juxta, and then after we called you Chris, he started to correct himself as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that will happen naturally as we
It's about
progress.
training the
I think
listeners.
I think we've got to express that though. Because
once or twice, I think that's fine.
I don't think that it makes for a terribly welcoming environment for someone to walk into.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It becomes a little bit insular.
Yeah.
And it's difficult on our part too to come off doing a 3-hour LBR and then completely switch gears off of FF14.
Yeah, we do it sometimes too.
Like the span of 45 minutes.
Nika caught herself today calling you Juxta.
Yeah.
I almost did it. But yes, I think that mentioning it if we're gonna do a Final Encounter cast, mentioning it either at the end of LBR or then also at the beginning of Final Encounter cast, maybe even both.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Because it seems like every point is brought back to FF14 somehow, which is something that we do naturally on LBR because that's the show that we do, but it doesn't work as well.
Something else that I wanted to point out in contrast to how today went and how some of our other good Final Encounter episodes went, as opposed to how our episode 5 went with the Fallout stuff, right? When it was just us three. Obviously we.
There was definitely a huge.
It wasn't
tone
bad, but
shift.
yes, there was a tone shift,
Yeah.
and I think what it comes down to is when we were doing the Fallout thing, you didn't have any basis, so you tuned out completely, and you went into interview mode, right? And I think where we shine best is when we're ourselves.
Yes.
So
I actually think that the Game Awards stuff was really good for, because it gave stuff for us to bounce off of.
Yes,
Right.
so I think in a situation like that where we're trying to, disseminate a new game, where even if only one of us has played it, I don't think it should be on any one person, who's not in the game to turn into interview guy.
Oh, yeah,
right? It should have
absolutely.
been me leading the
Yes.
Fallout 4 stuff, you being a fucking dickhole,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then if you were actually interested, actually be interested,
Right.
And I think it would have went better. So, going forward, I think
That's an interesting observation. I like
think
that
the
observation.
bottom line is that we just need to be ourselves.
Yeah, no, that's a really great observation, and we're trying to find and boil down the elements of the show that really work really well. And I think you're right. That is an element of the show that when we're just ourselves, we have something to play off of. We're bouncing off of each other as a crew. That's when we shine at our best.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good point.
That's another reason why I like these green room videos, is we figure out stuff that we probably wouldn't have figured out otherwise, because we never used to sit down and talk about the show like this.
I think we actually did. We actually did always talk about the show like this, but I don't think we ever recorded it.
No, we never recorded it,
Yeah.
did we?
Yeah, I think.
No.
Well,
I mean, we
We
used
did,
to kind
because
of
that's
have
how the idea for this show came from.
well, not entirely. What we kind of did was, how'd you guys feel about it? Oh, it was good and stuff. But I don't think we ever really
We didn't go
picked it
depth.
apart.
Yeah,
We
you're
didn't
right.
go
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's definitely been something that's started since the show.
Yes, it's
But-
definitely got better with
Yes.
the green room video.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's something that we've always done. We've always, constantly think, how can we improve the
Yeah,
product?
like some of these things, like I just said, I don't think I ever would have bothered to point those out before.
Right.
Right.
What did you guys feel about the camera angles? Like, how did you guys? I mean, I know that like.
First thing, right at the start, right? Last time, when I mentioned, you point out, goes not in camera anymore, right? And I didn't really say much more because you kind of seemed to take offense, like, oh, it doesn't fucking matter, right? You want to get away from being your face on camera. Doesn't fucking matter, right? It doesn't matter. We're trying to get an overall shot. And right at the beginning of the show, boom, boom, you still have a fucking camera on your face. Wants to get away from it. But no, I think it worked good, and being able to shift the cameras around.
You realize that we have limited camera.
No, I'm
angles.
aware. I'm aware. You asked. But no, I think it did work well, especially being able to. You wouldn't think something as simple as just shifting the webcam.
Yeah.
Like when he did it, put it to him for news, or when you knew that my fucking thing was coming up, so you shifted it to me.
Yeah, that's the part that you guys didn't see. The entire time that he was getting upset, I had the camera straight on him. The entire video, the entire trailer, it was just on him. It was never going to any of the other ones. It was just
As
on
soon
him.
as it started, the chat's like, "Oh my God, look at him! Oh my God, Kallo! What's wrong with Kallo? He looks so upset." Like,
It was perfect.
Yeah, mid meltdown, I was just like, I'm gonna go see what's going on in the chat, and everyone's just like, oh my god. I don't know, man.
Oh.
and while I do understand that, yes, that's not going to be my trigger point from everyone.
Oh yeah. You're never gonna hear the end of it from anyone.
But they were expecting something. If I would have just sat there and had like a normal, fine conversation, I think people would have been disappointed. But it couldn't have been just another big
No,
salty explosion.
We would have picked that reaction out of you.
Yeah.
It may have taken a
Yeah,
while,
so-
but we would have found that one
We would have found your weak points.
Yeah.
Try every element of the book, fire, quake, whatever we had to do.
You know what? Fuck you guys. It's never happening again. Nope.
Yeah,
never
okay.
triggering me with F7 again. Locking that vault now.
Hey,
Only way to
can be
keep-
done. Like you mentioned about me at one point, like the nose thing got to me, so you guys started harping on that. I'm like, oh, better stop showing reaction if I don't want that to become a thing.
Better put that in the feelings vault. Why did you not comment on that Facebook post that I put up?
Oh, about the dog wrap?
Yes, the
I didn't
dog
get
wrap-
it at all.
The dog wrapped in bubble, because we're always making fun of you, right? So
Right.
it's like when you go to LBR, he was all wrapped up in bubble wrap, so his feelings doesn't get hurt.
I have no feelings left to hurt.
It was hilarious.
You beat them out of me.
See, this is where we just have to get to the rest of the crew. We've got Eskalia in the
I have no self-esteem left to beat down. There's nothing there.
It's you're just
We installed him down, and he's just like, yeah, I'm a worthless piece of shit.
Just this dry, cum-riddled corpse for you assholes.
Oh man, yeah. Well, we just need to have that sentiment spread around the rest
Oh
of the
my
house.
god.
What?
I just pictured like start doing something on stream randomly where we insult him and he's like, yep, I'm a worthless piece of shit. Then he has a cap gun or something that he takes like but we completely ignore, right?
Oh yeah.
What, I'm gonna be like part suicidal now on screen?
That's funny. I like
Yeah,
that.
or like you take out a knife and just like
God damn it.
It's a
like
butter
it's
knife.
Oh,
dull.
Or with a spoon.
Straight up one of those old like G.I. Joe plastic knives, like
yeah. So
Goes to
that,
hang himself in the back, the rope snaps. We just keep on talking right through it.
So yeah, that was it was definitely in terms of engineering that final encounter cast was a whole lot of engineering work that went into it.
I think
We
it
were
turned
trying.
out great though.
We were trying to send video back to Nika of the YouTube video so that she could be watching it at the same time that we were. That worked to varying degrees, enough for that she was able to stay tuned into the conversation, which is
Right.
good. But something that needs to be worked out a little
Yeah.
bit more. So. All right, something that I did want to talk about on Final Encountercast, but obviously we did not get a chance to today. I probably will end up talking about this on the next episode of Limit Break Radio.
Yeah.
Now, this was something that I actually wanted to make a central point of the show today, but did not get the opportunity to. So, I've talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago. For the last couple of months, actually, at the job that I've been working at, I was up for a promotion for my position being taken into a full-time position. I was told that I did not get that position, that I did not make the full-time, and was informed on Friday, after I had worked my complete day and gone home, that my position had been eliminated. So,
How did he contact you?
by phone.
Called?
Called you.
calls you to fire you.
Called me to fire me.
Wow.
After working there for 3.5 years. 3.5. Now, what I do in the broadcasting industry, I'm not in front of a microphone. I am not considered a personality. I'm not considered a face or a name that somebody needs to have with their organization. I'm the guy that puts together the promos. I'm the guy that puts together the production pieces. You don't hear my voice very often, and it's not something. I was proud of the job that I did. I liked the job that I did. It paid me pretty well. By no means am I a wealthy person, but they compensated me fairly well. And to just get kind of tossed out on my ear after 3 years of working with them is really disappointing and disheartening. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm asking for sympathy. I'm not saying this as a way to try to manipulate you into giving any more money to Limit Break Radio. We love the fact that you support the show. We love the fact that you support the product, and it is so encouraging for us to have that support. I think that's a huge reason that that I haven't become completely despondent or depressed since getting this news on Friday. I think, there's a lot of people who in 3 days would not be able to pull themselves together from news like that to be able to soldier on and do 6.5 hours of podcasting.
Quality podcast.
Quality podcasting. So, it really, I first of all, I want to thank you, and I've thanked you guys before, but I want to thank you again, because what you guys do for me and what you guys don't know that you do for me is that you provide me with the confidence and the self-esteem, the confidence in myself to say, I am good enough to do this. Looking at Jeff Keighley and all of the presenters at the Video Game Awards, look, we're all human. None of us are perfect. I'm going to stumble over my deliveries and I'm going to fuck up things on the air, but as long as I'm entertaining and as long as I can get an audience around me, I think I still have value in my chosen profession. And I place, I think, a lot of value on that. There are some people who don't place a lot of value on what they do professionally. I think I do. I take a lot of pride in what I do professionally. And it just so happens that what I do professionally is also what I do for you guys.
For fun.
For fun, yeah.
Funnily.
And the thing is that this has put me in a position where, before this happened, we could take our time getting this product together. We could take our time to see if this could end up hitting and becoming something and getting enough momentum to possibly, maybe, provide us with some level of income that we could support ourselves by doing this. And that's a scary endeavor. That's terrifying
It
endeavor.
was scary when we first started Patreon and LBR.
Absolutely.
Remember when we first had that first
Okay, we
24
were
hours,
terrified making that announcement.
$700?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
Like,
do.
holy shit, look at all this money people are giving us. What do we do with that?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yes. And so, much like your support at Patreon made us advance our schedule with Final Encountercast, this personal event is also probably going to make us make us work a little bit harder. I think I'm more motivated than ever to try to make this work as a full-time thing. I love interacting with this industry, gaming media and video gaming. I have an absolute passion for doing the broadcast side of it, and I think that there's a space for a show like ours in video game media that doesn't take things so seriously, that doesn't, that embraces,
People
the
need someone they
acerbic
love
and
to
the
hate.
sarcastic, and yes, exactly. Video game media needs a villain. I'm okay being a villain.
Not even that. I think they need an anti-hero.
Anti-hero.
Because I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that they hate,
That's true.
but there's no one that they love to hate.
Yeah.
It has
Oh.
lots of villains.
Wow. That's a. I find.
Well, we're gonna bump. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
that's a great point. Yeah, there aren't many anti-heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So, I think that that's a little bit of what we seek to do, and now is, it's no more important, it's been no more important than now. It's more important than ever.
There you go.
Mush-mouth idiot today. It's more important than ever now to support at Patreon and to support on PayPal. And yes, we've got the bet going. And yes, we've got the Patreon that's always there. But we really want to elevate this to the next level. And we hope that with the advancements that we're making with Final Encountercast, that this is a way to do that. We want to make a play at doing this full time. We want to be, we're not kind of funny because we don't have the IGN Rolodex, but you know what? We could be Jim Sterling. We could be fucking Matt Pat. We could be on the level of those guys. And that's all up to you. That's all up to the audience. Not just you Patreons, but that's all up to the audience. The people who tune in.
It
The
is.
people who tell their friends. The people who spread this show around like a virus going, I can't believe what these guys are doing. They're doing something totally insane. I would love for people to think that about our show. And I would love for that to be their takeaway. And, hopefully you guys like the show enough to share it with your friends it's not just enough to put it up on your Facebook wall. You really have to sit your friends down and go, can you believe this shit? Can you fucking believe this shit?
You know what we need, and I don't think that it's something that we can do, because you see people pushing their own stuff all the time. I don't even think that it's something that one person could necessarily do, but all we need is to be linked like once on an actual major
That's
site,
true.
you know, and if it was a bunch of people, you know, I mean, I don't know what their actual mailbox would look like, but you know, if there's someone over at Kotaku that within a week, you know, got 50 people emailing them about this fucking podcast and this stream, that would make them go, you know, be like, let me take a look at this.
Yeah.
And if they thought that it was something worth being out there and tossed us out there, that's what would do it for us. That's what we're waiting
That's a
for.
good point.
Well,
That's our break. And obviously we can't send that email and be
Right.
like, hey, check out our podcast.
Yeah, it's really disingenuous when it comes from us guys.
Yeah.
Well, we call our fans the LB Army for a reason, because they were a force. They are a force.
Yeah, they are.
It hasn't changed.
They are. We need to, and they did such a great job with LBR. We need to figure out how to channel that energy into Final Encountercast.
Yeah.
You know, I think that we've proved that we can put together a great show. It's a great show on its face. I love listening to it. Even going back, you know, for as much criticism as I had about the Fallout 4 segment on episode number 5, when I went back and listened to it, I was like, this is actually a good segment.
Yeah, I don't think that it was bad.
No.
I just don't think that it was our best.
I don't think it was hilarious.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, just some additional thoughts there for you. You know, we do want to thank you for your support at Patreon. You guys help us do cool things like buy PS4s and help us be able to comment a little bit more about the industry that we want to work inside.
You know what I think I'd like to talk about on episode 7 for FEC?
Yeah.
We should expand on what we were talking about of what still constitutes an indie game.
Actually,
We
that
should
was a
really-
really interesting conversation.
We should
Yeah.
really expand on that.
Unpack that a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's by your support that we're able to do things like get, you know, PlayStations and keep up with the latest games that are coming out
And fix computers.
and fix computers and make sure that all of our camera systems were up and running. And
Whoever's out there who has the voodoo curse on our fucking equipment, knock it off.
To be fair, though, the cameras worked flawlessly.
yeah,
for
today
once.
actually today went remarkably
When-
I just
smooth.
need
from
our
a-
computers. Shit breaks
Oh.
for us all
When we had that little Wi-Fi hiccup beforehand,
Oh God! I thought I was gonna have an ulcer.
in my head, I'm like, oh great, here it is. This is the fucking butterfly that's gonna, or the camel that's gonna break fucking Nate's back.
Where Nate's
He's
gonna
about
just
to
die.
Go, he's about to go nuclear, and we're all gonna suffer for it. This is it. We're dead.
The straw.
Yeah.
That breaks
butterfly
camel's
broke the
back.
camel's back.
The camel that breaks our back? No, it's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
What do you think?
Because he's transporting hay.
I
hay is
said butterfly at first, but then I said straw.
No, you didn't.
You said camel.
I don't. Yeah, you said.
You said camel.
It was the
that's gonna
camel
break our
that
back.
breaks the back.
No, well, whatever. You know what I meant.
Okay.
When things go wrong, Nate gets irate. He can be mad.
Irate Nate.
He doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean it, but he's like a bull in a china shop.
Uh,
And he apologizes afterwards, but while it's happening,
yeah.
Does he
Get out of the way.
apologize?
yeah, the last time
He usually does,
the
yeah.
last time that it happened, it was with some sound thing, you know, and I tried to make a suggestion or ask something, he snapped back, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave the room. And then afterwards, he was like, look, you know, I know you're just trying to help, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
But get out of the way.
Yeah, that's mostly it. Just get out of it. When that happens, you get out of my way. Is really mostly what it is.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your support at patreon.com/limitbreakradio. Leave us a little bit of comment love. You know, I'm sure that you guys have gone through the same thing. You know, again, I'm not trying to be a victim by telling you my story about getting fired. I'm not trying to play towards any of your sympathy.
We're just letting you know of the LBR curse, because if
God,
you,
it is
if you're
bad
part-
for your career to be on this show.
Yeah, it sure is.
Either me or Nika's next.
Yeah.
So.
We're the only ones left, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but
It's about keeping you informed. I mean, that's what this is all about.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you know, with losing the job, there is always the possibility in broadcasting that I may not be able to find something locally.
That's true too.
Moving becomes a very strong possibility, which would impact the way that the show is developed.
Oh yeah.
I am doing absolutely everything I can to make sure that that doesn't happen, including possibly taking a job at Subway, which, I mean, like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, that's grim. That's fucking grim.
That's worse than beefaroni.
I mean, like, honestly, like, I would be working at Subway so I could continue to be doing this show.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what's at stake here. That's honestly what's at stake here, and I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to, make you guys concerned about the future of Limit Break Radio, because we are committed to doing that, even if we have to find ways around technical hurdles like being physically removed from one another. But you know what? We're going to do everything that we possibly can to make sure that this crew stays together, that this show stays together, and if we can continue finding ways to unlock your support or support from others like you, then that's going to be the best way that we can continue this product moving forward. And even though we've railed on it in the past, I do think that we need to take the time and investigate some sponsorship opportunities, because we've been so critical about it in the past. I think that we might be able to develop a better way of doing it, and not just doing schlocky, shitty sponsored content, but be able to have some sponsors to the show that we believe in. I was thinking about this earlier. I think it would be fantastic if we could get something like a Mustard brand.
Mustard brand. I showed him the fucking Sith thing today, and he was all into it until I showed him the price.
But like, the shirt, dude, the shirt that I was wearing during Final Encountercast came from Mustard Brand. That's Nathan Drake's shirt from
Not
Uncharted.
to mention you have the scarf from Assassin's Creed.
Absolutely.
Great conversation starter.
Coming a mile away.
Yeah.
So, but like, Mustard Brand, Loot Crate, we've talked about these before.
Yeah.
There are brands out there that we would love to partner with, because we feel like they add stuff to our community.
That's something that's important to me is if we're going to get sponsored content, or not sponsored content, but if we're going to be sponsored by people, things that we actually, like you said, believe in, things that we're actually passionate about, things that when we see, we go, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wouldn't feel bad about that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, these are just some of the things that we're considering. But of course, the largest payout usually does come from some kind of sponsorship. And if we're going to move the product forward, I don't know that we can do that on the backs of your generous support. We do appreciate it. We will say thank you. We will do everything to try to earn that support, but we don't think that it's automatic. It's not a foregone conclusion. We do not expect every person who wants to listen to the show to pay $5 to listen to the show. We don't have a paywall for those reasons.
Yes.
It is entirely a voluntary program, because we hope that you see the value in the product. So that's it. That's what's at stake here, guys. Not that Limit Break Radio will go away or we're threatening, but that's the very real layout of events that we're looking at, and
it's actually way more common in the entertainment industry than you would think. The amount of things out there, especially indie things, the amount of friends that I've had who, because obviously I went to school for acting, so the amount of friends that I've had that actually got a part in a movie, and then next thing you know, they don't, because that guy went through a divorce, or just the tiniest things can happen, and poof, it's gone.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, the fact that we've held this together more or less for 10 years, 10 years is
but you know what? We did not hold it together with the same cast. We had constant cast rotations in the old version of the show.
So we got the most important people back, plus Eskalia.
All right. I'm done with words today. I need to stop talking, because I don't know that I'll be able to continue talking.
All right.
Highlights for FEC?
Ooh.
There weren't any.
There was. I feel like there was something that we
Me
got.
saying the one guy ate another guy.
That was fun. Oh yeah, the whole FF7 flame out. That's good.
Why?
Yeah, that's gonna be a clip.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's a highlight. The news, obviously, the news is always.
I feel like there was something that we kind of got into a good heated discussion about in the middle there somewhere, but I can't.
Undertale. I think it was about
Was it
Undertale. We got hugely sidetracked with Undertale.
The
Rocket League.
definition between
the
indie.
Yeah.
And we had a big one on Rocket League too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think
That
that
was part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, if I can excerpt that, I'll try to find that.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right, that's going to do it for us here, guys. Thank you so much for your support at Patreon. Please, continue to give. Don't go away.
Please.
Like Bliven decided to. Bye, Bliven. Anyway,
Question. When you become a Patreon, you get access to our Patreon videos. How do you get access to that?
through our Patreon page. We
Okay.
post all our-
Patreon.com/LimitBreak
So once, because they're on YouTube, right?
Yes.
But
They're unlisted on YouTube.
okay, so only we can see
Well,
them.
private, yeah.
Only if you have the URL.
Okay. So yeah, that was my question. Then now that he's no longer subscribed, he can't get access to the videos,
No,
right?
right.
Okay.
So you can
But
see
who knows?
it.
I don't know if it waits to rebuild you and then it throws you
Right.
off. Because like when you post something to Patreon, you can choose what level you want to post. Like you can,
Right.
and you can post it for people who donate $5, $10, any dollar amount.
Right.
And so we always post them for $1 and up. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's what we said.
yeah,
It's- yeah. So.
Just wondering how that works.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.
Next week? Well, I might not be here.
What's next week?
Next week's 20th.
20th.
Oh yeah, next week's my birthday, guys.
Uh,
How's that? How's that for you? Fired just before your birthday and Christmas. Woo! Yeah.
I don't know what I work till tomorrow. I don't work tomorrow, but I'll get my schedule for both the 20th and 27th.
So we'll have more information about the next episode of Limit Break Radio. It will definitely be good. 27th is a little bit up in the air. I think Mika is going to be joining us in the studio. for that.
We're gonna maybe try and do something.
We'll see. Not a promise, but we'll see. Yeah, that's it for our Patreon video. I know I've said that like 7 times. Bye, guys.